Hey everyone, let's learn how to make lips today. It's beginner friendly and I'm using this zero point 0.7 lead pencil. You can use any other pencil as per your preference. You can use any shading pencil or even zero point 0.5 lead pencil. Just have to start with drawing circles and then make the lines to complete the lips. And then just rub the inner portions of circle we have made to complete the figure of the lips. Now we will begin shading it with very light hands. Make sure that you do not put too much pressure while shading. Use very light hand. Do follow this pattern of shading. If you want me to put the videos for the basic shading, you can let me know. Since we are making the human body parts, we have to show the curves, and we can do so by making these curved lines, and then we will add the highlights by adding more layers of shading to it. Make sure to be very soft while shading and do not put any hard lines, otherwise you will not get that effect. Now let's make the shadow of the lips. Above the chin, that area would be a bit darker in shade. Add more layers of shading to give it a more realistic look. Now we will continue it. You can shade the lips as per the reference you are using. You can draw with me. Now we will add the highlights with the help of a razor and give it a more darker shade as per the reference you are using again. We will take it very slowly and make sure the only way to master shading is to practice it as much as possible. I'm making portraits and sketching since 10 years. To make the human face, the first thing that you need is too much of patience, since you see that you have to take every step very slowly and very precisely. Now we are almost done with this one. We will make the second lip. These lips are a bit more curvy, a bit more soft. They also have a bit tilted smile. To again start with a line and drawing circles over it. Now we are almost done with the basic shape of our lips, and we will rub the inside portion. Now since we have a basic shape of the lips, we will begin shading it. We have to go slow with it. And we are going to follow the same pattern of this curvy shading on all our lips. Since you are beginning how to make lips, then it's better to follow one pattern of making lips. Then after you have practiced and practiced more and more, then you can follow different patterns and different ways of shading. But I started with this pattern and it did work very nicely with me, and it does gives a realistic look, the look that we want for now. Use very light hand while shading and make some lines darker. Now we will complete the basic shading of the sketch, and then we will add layers to it to give the depth to our lips and give it a more realistic look. Remember that you have to add more layers of shading to our lips. Do not put too much of pressure while shading. Lighten your approach and do it very nicely and finely. Add the lines to make the lips look more realistic and be patient with it. Make it a bit darker, and we are almost done with the lips. Shade the upper part of the lips, then you will get the way it looks on a face, and then shade the rest of the parts and make a bit of a shadow of the lips. Shadows are always a bit darker than the lips itself. Now you have to add the highlights to our lips by using a razor. Just make those portions which you have rubbed by mistake and do the rest of the shading which was needed as per the reference you are using. Give the rest of the shades to the lips and make the shadows of the lips a bit more darker, and to give it a clearer look. We are almost done with this lip. Just follow the same pattern as I am using and be very soft and slow with it to make it as realistic and as soft as possible. Now we will make the lips of a side face, and then we will start with making the lines and the circle. Then you have to outline it and complete the basic shape of the lips with the help of these circles. And we are almost done. Now we will rub the inner portion of the circles and start shading it slowly. We are following a bit different pattern on this one since those lips are totally tilted on one side, so we will use straight lines on the start and then the same curvy lines in the end. Be very soft while making these lips, and then we will make the darker parts of the lips, and you have to practice it as much as possible. You can find the reference for practicing lips on Pinterest. You should practice making different types of lips, and then you can practice them by making it on a human face. It will enhance your skill, and it will make you understand how to make lips on a face and how they will look on it. Just shade it slowly, add the highlights, and be very soft. Please do not forget that. Add the darker shade to the lips like I am doing it. You can follow the same pattern for the initial stages, and then you can do as per your own preference and the reference that you are using. And be as realistic as possible while making the sketches. It depends on your practice. You can follow this pattern if you're beginning your new journey for making the sketches and lips, and if you're liking it. Some people tend to start with directly making the face, but first you should get perfect while making the lips, eyes, nose, ears. That would be really helpful in the further stages of making a portrait. To make every part of her face very properly and very neatly, and you will not forget or ignore the basic highlights. Now we will make the lips in which the mouth is wide open. So we are making smaller circles, and we will make the inner side of the mouth. We will make the teeth and the tongue, and then we will shape them to give it a more realistic look to the mouth. It can be used for the face in which we are showing that someone is screaming. Then these lips can be used. We are making the tongue and the rest of the teeth, and we are done with the basic shade. We will rub these circles and everything and begin shading with it. We are shading the inner side of the mouth and then the tongue, and we are giving it a more realistic look to it. So please be very slow and soft while making the tongue. Then we will add the highlights to our tongue with the help of a razor. And then we will continue making the mouth and giving different highlights in different shade wherever it is needed. You can take different human faces and you can just draw the lips from them. It would increase your practice and make your sketching a lot better. Follow the same pattern while making the lips. Add the darker shades to it to complete the lips. And now we will follow the same pattern as we have used in the above ones for making the downward lips. I have not given much realistic look to the teeth. And now we are done with 4 types of lips. Thank you.